Actual demons. We know about certain demons that always show up at the party of our dreams' fulfillment. The psychological ones come like clockwork, various forms of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, dressed up in different outfits, and they make up a fair bit of the dance floor, so to speak. They are also at least half the stragglers hanging around the punch bowl to keep this party analogy going. Ambivalence, ironically wearing a tux, self-doubt in a dirty t-shirt, perfectionism there as well in some spotless shoes. We know these guys are coming to the party before we even finish the list of invitations. It would actually be alarming if they didn't show up, maybe even symptomatic of a deeper problem. They really are just the yin to the yang or the yang to the yin of a healthy psychological profile, and when we are aware of them enough to formulate a plan against them to keep them on the smaller side of our energies, one could argue that they represent balance and provide motivation to lean into psychological counterparts, helping us develop such things as motivation, spiritual strength, faith, belief, hope, and the all-important perseverance. All of the fear-based opposites which must be developed and bolstered on our path, and which makes its way into our work to the point where much of our work even reflects positively the internal battle which we must overcome to fulfill our dream. In other words, a certain profile of quote-unquote demons or negative energies is not only to be expected, but accepted and in part embraced even. Treated with a certain degree of warmth, you might say, and grace, an acknowledgement of the beneficial results of keeping them in their rightful place at the sidelines of that party we were talking about. But let's talk about actual demons, or the demons that will come from the landscape of the spiritual war, not simply born from your psychology or internal world. Of course, one could argue that everything is born from our internal world, but for the sake of clarity and to make a point, the demons I'm speaking of now, quote unquote, these ones are born of the world outside of our minds. This happens when we make real spiritual progress. The devil famously hates progress, and if you've overcome, at least for now, the myriad of psychological hurdles for a dream's fulfillment, the devil or the dark side will enlist the big guns and go after you from different angles. It's probably a good sign that your dream will not only expand and make your own world lighter, but will also most likely do that for others, even if you're just another example of someone who has overcome their station in life to achieve something more. The devil doesn't want you to prevail, and he certainly can't have you easily reflecting that to others. In other words, to be an engine of light in this world means you will be engaging in spiritual battles beyond yourself. When you put on the armor of God, a form of which is pursuing your dream, the devil will accept the challenge. The devil will respond. And he'll meet you on your path in surprising and perhaps even shocking ways. This will come in the form of other people, people who identify you in a certain light and with certain limitations. You might be doing mountains of work to restructure your identity within yourself, but that doesn't mean the world has given you a permission slip to become more than you were, to be the fuller expression of your actual self. And there are agents in this matrix that won't simply say a discouraging word and leave it at that. They will interrupt you in more extreme ways. If you get far enough along, or let's say when you get far enough along, the chances of getting confronted with actual sabotage become probably 100%. Because when you are leaving the realms of limitation, some of the inmates that exist there with you won't be happy to see you escape a trap they can't break out of, and are open and vulnerable to suggestions from the dark side of the world. They are open to demonic forces, which will influence them to influence you. Demonic forces know what you're up to, and they have been alerted to the fact that you're making a break for it. There's alarm bells with your name on them ringing in the shadow world. Imagine You're trying to escape. He's trying to escape. He's got big ideas about a dream life. We can't let him do that. Doot, 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 doot. And these minions are paying very close attention indeed, along with the dark forces instructing them. This isn't to say be paranoid or to think that everyone is paying attention, because most are not. Most don't care, and probably most generally wish you well. So to spend too much time concerned with this aspect of things could easily qualify you as being mentally unwell or paranoid. So certainly aim for balance here. But to deny that this aspect of our world exists and to not prepare for it to some degree would also be a mistake in my view. So when an outsized drama goes down in your world, when somebody flips the apple cart of your life on its side and screams at you that it was all your fault, rather than being sidetracked by the drama, recognize it for what it is: an externalized demonic attack brought on by the progress you're making towards the betterment of your life and the lives of your brothers and sisters. At least that's what it could be, unless you really screwed up. You might have done. Look at it, if you can, as a positive sign, and don't let it take you off course. A great book to read for more insight into the ways dark forces operate is Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil. It's one of my favorites. It's a wild story around that as well. Within it, there's an interview with the devil, in which there's an extended interview with the devil, and he gives the game away. Why would he do that, you might ask? And the answer is because that's how confident he is that most will simply knowingly fall into darkness. And even if you have a map of its complexities and booby traps, it takes consistent creative action to narrowly escape the clutches of condemnation. We have to fight for our life daily, and to bring light is the greatest fight of all. Keep fighting. I love you. Like, comment, subscribe, share your stories of demonic attack and how you get out of them and over them, and keep going towards building your dream for yourself and for all of us in this community. Thank you so much. God bless.